Hi all, I'm Pramod Gupta and I welcome you to my YouTube channel Data My Passion. So in this channel, I bring a lot of videos related to data science. So if you're new to my channel, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so that you will get all the notification related to my future videos. And don't forget to share with your friends. It will definitely help them out too. So let's start today's video. So in today's video, we are going to see tuples in Python. In my last video, I have already covered lists in Python. So if you have not watched those videos, you can go and watch. That is available in my playlist. So let's start tuples in Python video today. So first of all, what is tuple? Okay, so we have already seen list, and this tuple is exactly same to list. This data structure is already very much similar to list, but it has few differences, and let's see those differences. Okay, so let's see what is tuple first of all. So a tuple is ordered, immutable collection of elements having heterogeneous data types. We cannot change the element inside a tuple. That is immutable collection. Okay. So as I mentioned, list is also an ordered set of element, but the list is mutable, and this is unmutable. It means that once you define a tuple, you cannot change element inside it. Okay. So that is a one property of tuple, immutable property. A very important interview question you will get. Okay. So what is the difference between list and tuple, and whether tuple is immutable or not? So yeah, it is immutable. Okay. So it means immutable means you cannot change the element inside a tuple. So that is what the property hold, by the tuple. Right? Where should we use tuple? So we already have list. Then why do we need a tuple as another data structure, right? That question might comes into your mind. If you already have a list and everything will be same as of list, with the tuple, why do we need a separate, tuple? So I'll answer that question in my video. Don't worry about that. But yeah, let's see where do we use tuple. Okay. So tuple we use in those scenarios where we want to hold the constant data. Suppose you have a web URL. You are using that web URL throughout your program. Now, suppose you have assigned that value to a variable and you don't want to change it. So suppose I have 3 to 4 parameters like URL, username, passwords, and all those parameters. I don't want to change by any of my process. Okay, I can put it into a tuple and I can store that, because you cannot change tuple. So accidentally also that value won't be changing, and that's where you can use tuple. So this is a place where you can use tuple. Okay, so then properties of tuple. Tuple is an ordered collection. In whatever order you will assign a value in tuple, the same order will be preserved. It will allow duplicate values, and it's a immutable collection. Once you declare it, you cannot change it, values. And this is your tuple. This is your introduction to tuple. Let's see it practically. Now suppose you want to create an empty tuple. The symbol is square brackets. You can create in this way, and that's how I have created. You can see the type of this variable, it's saying tuple. Okay, suppose, and there is another way you can use a tuple method to create a constructor to create that, not another constructor. Okay, so you have used tuple constructor and you have created the empty tuple, and this is again your type. This is tuple. So there are two ways by which you can create an empty tuple. Now suppose this is a way we can define a tuple. So I have defined a tuple T1 holding a value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC, 10.23 and true. So you can see it is holding heterogeneous data. Okay, and I have initialized it here. So you can see under square bracket, not square bracket, so sorry, round bracket, it is holding all your elements. Right? Now I am putting another tuple. So this is your string, and each character will be put it into a tuple. This is your tuple. Now suppose you want to combine this, you can use concatenation operation, and it will actually unroll and then combine it. And this is how you can see that here. Okay, this is your concatenating two tuples. Now the indexing and slicing will be very much similar, or I would say same as of list. So this is my tuple. I have defined it here. Okay, so tuple 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC 10.23 and true. If I just show you tuple, this is your tuple, right? Suppose you want to get a very first element. So indexing, as I have already mentioned, if you see the indexing, this is your zeroth position, this is your first position, this is your second position, this is your third position, and so on and so forth, right? So this is your indexing. Now suppose you want to get a very first element from a tuple, you can use a square bracket to do the indexing, and you can provide the location or a position on which you want to extract the index. So this will give you your first index. So that's how you can extract your first element from a tuple. Now you want to take the last element, you can use -1, okay, and you can get the last element, which is true. Now suppose you want to get all the element from first till end, you can put 1 and then colon, and then the end column you can put blank, nothing. Then it will take all your element from this one position till end, okay. So if I execute the code, you will see it here from 2 till end. Now suppose you want to print all the element till 6th position. This is a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So this is your upper bound, so it will print up to here. So it will print all your character 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ABC. So if you print this, it will give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ABC. Now suppose you want to slice it from 1st till 6th. It means that from 1st here till 6th. 6th is there, but upper limit will be excluded, and you will get data till here. So 2, 3, 4, 5 and ABC you want to see. You can do it here. Okay. Suppose you want to reverse the tuple, that's how you can do that. You can use -1, and that's how it will reverse. So as I have already taught you in my list class, like you have to, this is your start position, end position, and this is your jump. So whenever you say negative jump, so by default here will be your length of the tuple will be put it. So say for example you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here 8 will be put, and here 0 will be put, and that's how it will go in reverse order, and it will print your tuple. So that's how in the reverse order it will going to print. And here I am just trying to get the alternate elements, because here I am mentioning the step size of 2. So it will going to print 1 and then 3 and then 5 and then 10.23. So if I execute the code, you will going to see this. Okay, so this is your indexing and slicing operation, which we can do, and which is very much similar to list. Okay, suppose you have stored your element and now you want to retrieve them one by one. You can use for loop, and you can do in this way. Okay, so we are taking your tuple as a iterator. Tuple is a iterator, right? So we have taken iterator tuple, and then I am assigning a value x value to a variable x, and I'm printing that here. This is one way. Another way is use a range function and take the length of the tuple, and it will give you range from 0, 1, 2, 3 till whatever number of elements you have, and then using a indexing operation you can print the tuple value, and that's how you can do that. You will get the same result. Then in order to prove the immutability property, let me show you that it is actually holding immutability property. So suppose at 0th position we have one value. Now we want to change it to x value, and if I do that, let's see what happens. See, it is saying tuple object does not support item assignment. Okay, so yeah, truly tuple is immutable object. Okay. Now suppose you have declared a tuple. Say you have three element in it, Pramod Gupta 33. Okay, this is your 3 elements you have stored in a tuple. Now you want to assign each value. So you know that this is my first name, this is my last name, and this is my age, right? So I am putting that tuple here, and I'm assigning each value to my primitive variable. So this is my first name, last name, and age. So if I'm doing that here, this value will store here, this value will store here, and this value will store here, and that's what I'm printing here. You can see first name is first name variable, last name is last name variable, and then age. If I execute this code, you can see it here. Okay, so this is how you can assign your tuple value into a primitive data types or variables, and this is how you can achieve it. Now there's another way also to do that. Suppose I have a tuple and I have these 3 values. Now I can use an asterisk operator, and it will going to store these values completely. So I have assigned tuple here. This first value will go to first variable, second element will go to second variable, and whenever you try to put asterisk in front of variable, remaining all value till last will be go and copy here. So if I execute that, you will see that whatever value you have taken, right, the first value is put it into first name variable, this value put it into last name variable, and rest all these three values in the taken and put it into a list, and then into other details variable it is put it, and this is how you can see this detail here. This is how you can store your tuple elements into primitive variables. Now let's see what is nested tuple. So you have three tuples defined here, T1 this tuple, T2 I have defined this tuple, and T3 I have defined this tuple. Okay, I have defined these three tuples. Now in the third this step, I am taking all these three tuples and putting into square, not square, round brackets, and this is how I am putting into another tuple. So this is how nested tuple I have created. And suppose you want to access a particular element, right? Suppose you want to access tuple, suppose you want to access this XYZ value. So how can you do that? Okay, let me show it here. So this particular part is your 0th position. This particular part is your first position. This particular part is at your second position. So suppose you want to access this element, right? So you have to first write variable name tup, then you have to mention 1 because you have to access this first list. So this is not list, this is tuple inside tuple, right? So you want to access the tuple placed at first position, so you have given first, and then this is your, again this is your 0th element inside 0th element, this is your first element, and this is second element. So whenever you try to access XYZ, you have to mention this way, tuple 1 means this one, and then 2 means this one, and that's how you can achieve this way. And if I try to execute this, you'll get XYZ. So this is how you can retrieve your data from nested tuple. Similar operation, I would say. There are few built-in method available in tuple. Let us see that. So here I am declaring my tuple. Okay, here there is a method called len method by which you can get the number of element inside a tuple, that is 8. Then there is a count method which actually count your 5 inside a tuple. So 5 appear one time, so it is giving you count 1. There is an index method using which you can find out the element position. So this particular element is placed at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So it will return 6, right? Now suppose you want to delete a tuple. So I am declaring a tuple here. Okay, I am deleting the complete tuple. And if you want to see it, it is not available because you have deleted that, right? So suppose you want to see that, you declare here and then you see that here. So this is all about tuples in Python. I hope you understood it, and if you like my video, please hit the like button. If you have any comment, put down your comment in comment section. I'm happy to reply that. And don't forget to subscribe my channel and share with your friends. It will definitely help them out too. And thanks for watching.